You are looking live at the Nasdaq, which was down 128 points today, or 0.96%. The volume was up 9% above the average daily volume and up from the past few sessions. A very skittish Nasdaq. It closed at 13,186, and I said that if it undercut that follow-through day of 13,099, that it'd be a lot more bearish. But you can see that it got rejected at its 50 once again, and now it's got these inverted hammer candles here where they're closing near the lows of the session, which is not healthy. We've seen this before back in August when it had the sell-off, these three big days, and it had a reversal. But now here we are again, and I point to a couple things about today. Was one, it was very skittish. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way, and this is today's action where it goes up, and I think there was like 3 or 4 or more 1% moves today where it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up. And you can blame this on Powell. Then it goes down, flattens out, and closes near the low of the session. And that is a 5-minute chart. And you can see it's just been kind of a downtrend here this week. But you can blame Powell or whatever, or options expiration. The third Friday of the month is tomorrow, which usually leads to volatility. But it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is the price. And the price and the volume bars show that the institutions are not supporting this market. So as I always ask the folks at MC Stock Charts, is this market worthy of your hard-earned dollars? And at this point, you'd have to say no. Are the institutions supporting this market? And at this point, you'd have to say no. Can the index rally back through the 50? At this point, no. I mean, it can, you got to give it an opportunity, but these short-term moving averages have to rally back through this downtrending 50, and it's just not doing it. So, you just wait, watch, bide your time. You show some discipline and some willpower and patience, and don't, dive right in and go on margin and try to outthink the market. You can't fight the tape, and 80 to 90% of the stocks are following the index. So if you buy something, it's very likely that you're going to be underwater pretty quickly in this tape. So anyway, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's the Nasdaq. I just got to show you that, for 34 months, this thing has gone nothing but sideways since the beginning of 2021. It's at 13,181, 13,186, 13, and there we are again today, 13,186, 185. Yeah. So you can see it's just in a trade range. Yeah, it went up a little bit, then it went below it for a little bit, then it went up, and now it's just in a trade range. But there are winning stocks. I mean, I pick out a ton of winning stocks. I'm not saying that you can't pick winning stocks in a trade range. It's just recognize the market that we're in, trade ranging market. And anyway, I'm going to move on from the index. I don't want to show the SPY or the IWM. There's nothing pretty out there about the tape right now. Apple, once again, it had this double bottom pattern, and it came up and got above the 50 and now is below it, and it's just tracking kind of with it. Problem is, it's a downtrending 50. So, if it stays with the 50, right now it closed, not the 50, the 10. I mean, it closed 1.2% below the 50 and 0.9% below the 10 and 0.8. So these three moving averages are converging, which just is a pretty good indication of a stock going sideways, not doing a whole lot. We don't like stocks like that. I'm going to get to some stocks later on that are showing strength, but these are not really them. This is just kind of biding time. This is Microsoft. Of course, now they're going to report earnings next 24th is Tuesday, I believe, and this is a double bottom base pattern. It's through its 50, and its shorter term moving average are above the 50. So that looks a lot better. That looks pretty constructive to me. Let me get the exact technicals on that. Yeah, 0.7% above the 10, 1.3% above the 21, and 1.9% above the 50. So that's stacked and trending in the right direction. That's looking like it has a potential leadership, but like I say, they report earnings next week, so we're going to find out. Meta Platforms, this one, it's strong as well, just biding its time, right there at the 21. So, and 3.3% above this 50. So that one looks good. I know Google looks good today. I didn't really watch the market today. Yeah, it drives me crazy when it does stuff like this. But this thing just pulled back to its 10. It closed right at its 10. So that's really healthy action for Microsoft, Google, and Meta. Amazon, not so much. This one, yeah, it was up today in a weekday, but any stock below the 50, is in trouble. I don't want any part of it. It's 4% below that downtrending 50. So that one looks bad. NVIDIA, what can you say? I thought it might bounce today with the report from Taiwan Semi, but it was just flat on the session. And it's still above, the 409, but and it's hovering right there at 420. So just got to be patient. I don't like stocks below their 50. They got to rally back through them fairly quickly. And the last one is Tesla, which reported a stinker earnings report, and it paid the price for it, traded down near its 200. I want to see if that's a 30-week line. Yeah, 40-week line. Wow. Oh, wow. 40-week line there is 215.65. So traded down to that level today, I guess, huh? 216. Okay. Well, anyway, Tesla, there was just a stinker of a report that didn't deserve to go up, especially after Elon's blaming the global economy. And the best thing I think they said was that, they're coming out with their Cybertruck on November 30th. So going forward, looking forward, 2024, that is definitely a positive, but yeah, they got to get it together over there at Tesla. It's just a tough environment, I think, for automobiles right now. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I covered NVIDIA. Okay, I'm just going to go to some stocks showing relative strength right now. And I'm just going to kind of go randomly or not. I'm going to start with software, surprisingly enough. ESTC. And this to me looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, it was up today, but that's not the big deal. It's just it's got it's 10, it's 21, and it's 50, trending higher. And I'm a trend trader, so I like stocks that trend higher. Yeah, it was up today in a really terrible tape, but you can see it's finding support at this magenta or pink line, which is the 21. So that to me is showing a lot of strength. And you can see the RS line here pointing up here recently as this is in relation to the S&P. So as the S&P goes flat or lower, this stock, is trending higher. So it's definitely showing relative strength. I want to show Bentley Systems too. I know it had a bad day today, but it's got that blue dot. What was it, down 3%? Still above what I would call that buy point there, where it trades tight within its base, and I was kind of looking for a pullback, not this sharp. That's the thing about pullbacks. Like, I want a pullback, and then when it comes, like, oh my gosh, I didn't want that much of a pullback. But you can't always get what you want. This one traded down to its 21 today, and actually closed a tick below it. But in all intents and purposes, in the spirit of the stock, it's at its 21. So we'll see where it goes tomorrow. But that one looks pretty good. CrowdStrike as well. I'm just trading, forming this shelf here. Traded up, it spiked up and it went higher from like 163 there. You had a 190 in a hurry, and now it's just forming this little shelf. Traded down to its 10 today, I believe, 183. Yeah, so not bad. I mean, any stock above the 10 obviously is showing strength. Zscaler, another one, same space, security software, and it traded down to its 10, and it's forming a little shelf after this big move here. 6%. It went from 150 to 176. That's a nice big move. So, and if you bought here and it goes up there, you got to trim a little, at least I do. I got to take 50% off, or at least 30, 35, just to take some profits, and then raise your stops to the low of this day here, which would have been 165. So yeah, you'd still be in that stock. Okay, anyway, and I wanted to show Palo Alto Networks because there's been leadership changes within this group forever, and now this one is trading a little weaker than those other two that I just showed you. Palo Alto is nearly 1% below the 10, while the other two are above its 10. But to me, this is still a strong stock, still consolidating within a base. And you can't read too much into the action around this options expiration, the third Friday of the month. There's just some really crazy stuff happening. Like I showed you on the Nasdaq today with the whipsaw. I mean, the Nasdaq could be up 2% tomorrow. You don't know. I mean, with the, the machine trading, with Powell speaking, there's just a lot of noise, with the war. So that's why you just got to follow price. And tomorrow's probably going to be volatile once again. Anyway, that was Palo Alto Networks. I'm getting off track here. I digress. That's enough for the software stocks, I think. Okay, I'm going to go to the oil and gas stocks. And there's a couple of them that I like. I was going to put on the, I might have even put this one on our watch list. It's got a nice little base here, up 1.5% today, and a pretty weak tape and the volume's coming in on this one. So this is PR, Permian Resources. You can see the consolidation, the move up, another consolidation of 6 weeks, which is not a lot. But PR looks good. CHRD, this one I keep showing, and I don't ever do much with it, but it does, show relative strength to the market here. It was up 0.5% today in a weak tape, and that's a bullish engulfing candle here today as it took out the lows and the highs from yesterday. So Chord Energy looks good. HES, another oil and gas. Oh no, HES. Come on, dude, get with it. This is an exploration stock as well. You got to go to the weekly on these. Big consolidation. Now it's starting to push away from its base. HES looks good. It's up 3% this week. If those of you who like oil and gas stocks. ESTE is another one showing relative strength. Made that high of 21.98. Pulled back to its 50 and ripped higher. I got to see what that looks like on a weekly. Yeah, just a consolidation in a base here of 6 weeks once again. FANG, this is, I think, the one, my favorite here of the oil and gas stocks. Pulled back today, which I like. I was going to put this on our watch list, but it's getting towards the end of the week and the market's kind of wonky, so I'm just going to hold off here. Maybe it'll come back. It's up 1.5% this week, but still in this long consolidation period. It was 162 in June of 2022, so that's 16 months of consolidating, and doesn't really show up on a daily chart, but it did fly right up the right side of this base here. So I want to give it time for the moving averages to catch up. You can see it's got the blue dot, so it's got relative strength. Anyway, CHX is another oil and gas. This is a driller, not an exploration stock. And let me see. Why did I put CHX? I don't know why. I don't know why I have it on here. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, it's just consolidating in a base. All right. Nothing special about this one. It needs time. Maybe the weekly. Yeah, it's just consolidating in a base. That doesn't do it for me. I don't really like the driller stocks. Anyway. Oh, I know what I wanted to show. Liberty. We all love Liberty, right? This is a low price stock, which some people like. And you can see the base on base on base, consolidation base. It doesn't go anywhere until recently. Now all of a sudden it's trying to break out of this pattern. And it's got the blue dot trading higher. It's up, nearly 11% this week. What's going on at Liberty? It's a field services stock. It's in there with Tidewater and Oceaneering, those stocks. But you can see the big volume coming in on this one. So yeah, Liberty showing strength. All right, Marty, I'm going to go to just some random stocks here. Bear with me. I'm almost done. This is aerospace defense stock, obviously, with the geopolitical, turmoil and landscape. These aerospace and defense stocks are going to be strong, and you could see the big volume coming in. This is just forming a little base here, 30 days. So that's about, that's not even showing up on pattern rec on the weekly. So just watching this one, it's made a big move, and I'm going to let the moving averages catch up. I did have a KTOS as an aerospace stock, and it just pulled back today. It's still above its 10, though, showing strength. You can see that consolidation there. Pattern rec is picking this up, 9 weeks of consolidation. So yeah, it's up flat this week, but holding its own in a really weak tape. Let me see, what else do I have here? Oh, this financial stock. I really don't know what these do. Financial services. This is Remitly Global. Very strong stock though, making new highs. I tell you, the breakout of the base, trading higher there, trending, finding supportive moving averages. That's what trend traders like to buy and hold for a long period of time. Hopefully, it's pretty tough in this tape right now for traders like myself. FICO, Fair Isaac, consolidated in a base. This one looks really good. Another one that I was going to put on the ready list, but it's just getting kind of late in the week, and I'm just going to let this week pass. It does have the RS rating, nice consolidation. I know it's a $900 stock, but yeah, only a 5-week base. Okay, that's why I didn't put it in. Give it another week or so, and we'll come back to FICO. But that one looks really good. So does the electrical contracting manufacturing stock, Celestica. Broke out here back in July, made a high of 22.68, pulled back to its 21, found support, made another high. That's what we want: higher highs, higher lows, and came back and made another high on October 16th, which was what, last week, I guess. I don't know when that was. No, it was Friday the 13th. That was Monday. So a new high of 27.58. So it keeps making new highs. And that's what you want to see in a stock, trending higher, making higher highs, and these higher lows. So this stock looks really great. Yeah, it pulled back to its 10 today, 0.5% in a week tape, but yeah, definitely showing relative strength. And that's all I have for today, except for I lied. I wanted to show, the sell-off today was so powerful that even Eli Lilly was down 2%. And it's down after hours. But this one closed, came down to its 21, found support, and then closed at its 10. You can see that action there. Let me get the actual data here for us. So the 21 it traded down to was 579. And you can see the low is 578, then it closed, near its 10. It's still a tick below the 10, but, for all intents and purposes, that's closing at the 10 EMA. Novo is the same thing. Let me see, traded down to its, it's a little stronger than Eli. It did not make it down to its 21 today, or did it? Let me see here. Let me get it together. It's 21 was 95, 97, the low is 96. So no, it didn't come down. And 97, 96 is the 10. So it's just a tick below. It's a 10. It closed just a tick below at 0.3%. But I mentioned those because, I have one more thing I want to talk about, and that's Intuitive Surgical earnings report tonight, because, you want to take CEOs at face value, but they reported a pretty bad quarter. I mean, they missed on all metrics. And the CEO was talking about they're having fewer surgeries due to the weight loss drugs from Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, those stocks that I just showed you. Yeah, that could be true. I mean, you want to take them at face value and say, okay, they're seeing less surgeries because people are taking weight loss drugs. That's plausible, right? I mean, it's like an apparel company saying we didn't sell as many clothes this year because we had a hot summer. I mean, we blame it on the weather. We blame it on weight loss drugs. It's getting pretty crazy with the weight loss drugs. It makes me a little nervous, but this stock is down after hours, nearly 8%. The med tech stocks, like I showed you yesterday, they've all been really hammered, and this is not going to help that sector. And maybe it is from the weight loss drug. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an authority on it. We're just gonna have to wait and find out when Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk report earnings, because if they're saying that those their numbers are down due to the weight loss drugs, and the weight loss drugs should be killing it. But I just wanted to point that out. You got to make correlations between certain companies, and when a CEO comes out and says directly that their numbers were affected by those weight loss drugs, you got to pay attention to that. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow's another day. Don't get down and never give up. Tomorrow is options Friday. third Friday of the month, options expiration. So it's going to be, probably a little volatile, but just stay with it. Stay with your discipline, stay with your plan, stay with your strategy. Don't get discouraged. This is going to turn around, and this too shall pass. Anyway, we never give up. Thank you for watching.